The H100 War, How OPay Took Over Nigeria's Streets While Banks Were Sleeping. Part 1. The Invasion. Nobody saw coming. Imagine this. It is 2019. You are standing at Oshodi Market, Lagos. Noise everywhere. Danfo buses honking. Traders shouting. And right there, under a red umbrella, is a young guy in a green jacket. He is not selling gala. He is not selling phone chargers. He is shouting, Open OPay, free transfer, no bank wahala. 3 months later, that same green jacket is in Kano. 6 months later, it is in Aba, in Onitsha, in Benin. 2 years later, that company is processing more transactions in a day than some banks do in a month. How did that happen? How did OPay, a company most Nigerians had not heard of before 2018, become the name market women, Okada riders, and small business owners trust with their money, while the big banks with glass buildings and air conditioning were still asking for an NEP bill and passport photograph to open an account? The answer is not luck. It is strategy, ruthless, street-smart, Nigerian-style sales and marketing. If you are an entrepreneur, unemployed, underemployed, or trying to build something from nothing, this story is for you. Because OPay did not win with billions. They won with principles. Principles you can copy tomorrow morning. This is part 1 of our OPay Nigeria case study. We will break down exactly how they sold, how they marketed, and how they outplayed competitors who had more money, more history, and more staff. Let us go inside the Al-100 War, understanding OPay's battlefield. Nigeria's money problem. Before OPay, Nigeria had a big problem. Over 60 million adults had no bank account. Millions more had accounts, but could not use them. Bank apps failed. PEP's charges were high. Transfers took hours, and to send 500 to your sister, you might pay 50 in fees. That is 10% gone. Banks were selling to the top. OPay sold to the bottom. And the bottom is where the numbers are. OPay did not start as a bank. They started as a solution. First, they solved transport with Oride. Then food with food. Then they asked a simple question. If people trust us to carry them and feed them, will they trust us with their money? The answer became OP Wallet, and that is when the real war started. How OPay handled product sales and marketing in Nigeria. OPay's approach was different from day one. They did not do billboards and wait. They went to the street. Here is how they did it, broken into the first set of principles you can use in your own business. Principle 1. Win the street. Before you win the screen, OPay understood something banks ignored. Nigeria is an offline country first. Data is expensive. Trust is face-to-face. So instead of running only Facebook ads, OPay hired thousands of agents, young men and women. They gave them green jackets, PIACS machines, and a simple message: help people solve money problems. These agents became OPay's salesforce. They stood in markets, at bus stops, in front of shops. They helped traders open wallets in 2 minutes. No form, no BVN at first. Just phone number and name. Explanation. In Nigeria, distribution beats advertising. OPay made every agent a branch. While banks had 100 branches, OPay had 100,000 agents. That is sales power. If you are selling anything, ask yourself, who can sell this for me on the street? Do not wait for customers to come. Go to them. Compared to others, traditional banks waited for customers to enter the banking hall. Kuda and other digital banks focused on phone ads to young people with smartphones. OPay went to Mama Put, to the guy selling suya, to the driver. That is why market women say OPay, but me not know Kuda. Principle 2. Remove friction. Add incentive. Bank transfer fees were 50 or more. OPay said, first 3 transfers free. After that, 10. For a trader sending money 10 times a day, that is 400 saved daily. 12. 0 a month. That is rent money. They also made sign up dead simple. Download app, put number, done. You can receive money immediately. Explanation. People do not buy products. They buy better versions of their life. OPay made life cheaper and faster. If your product removes a pain and adds a gain, people will run to it. Price is marketing. Free is the most powerful word in Nigeria. Use it wisely. Compared to others, GT Bank and Access Bank charged fees because that is the system. OPay broke the system. PalmPay later copied, but OPay moved first, and in Nigeria, first plus fast wins. Principle 3. Use one product to sell the next. OPay did not launch wallet alone. They had a ride, food, bus. If you used a ride, you got discounts if you paid with OPay. If you order food, it was cheaper with OPay wallet. So they were not selling a wallet. They were selling cheaper transport and cheaper food. The wallet was just the way to get it. Explanation. This is called an ecosystem. It means your products help each other. If you say hair, can you also sell shampoo? If you do makeup, can you teach classes? Make one customer need your next product. Pay used services Nigerians wanted daily to force wallet adoption, compared to others. Banks sold savings account. Boring. OPay sold Payless for Okada. Exciting. People do not wake up wanting a bank account. They wake up wanting to save money on what they already do. We will stop part 1 here, but we are just getting started. In part 2, we will cover 5 more principles OPay used to dominate, including how they turned agents into evangelists, how they used data, and how they survived the Okada ban that killed their first business. We will also expose the 3 biggest mistakes other companies make when trying to copy Pay and the lessons you must learn if you want to win in Nigeria. Nigeria's market is hard, but it is not impossible. OPay proved it. You can, too. Your next step. If you found this breakdown useful and you want part 2, plus real stories I could not share anywhere else, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd break down one Nigerian business case study every week for entrepreneurs, job seekers, and anyone who wants to understand how money really moves in this country. Click subscribe now, and I will see you in part 2, where we reveal how OPay turned 100 into a billion naira empire. The 1800 War. How OPay built a billion naira habit, one agent at a time. Part 2. The 5 moves that made OPay unstoppable. Welcome back. In part 1, we saw how OPay took the streets before the banks woke up. They won with agents, killed transfer fees, and used OPay the rides to force Nigerians into their wallet. But that was just the beginning, because in 2020, Lagos State banned Okadas. Harried OPay's first big product died overnight. Most companies would have packed up. Investors panicked. Competitors laughed. Instead, OPay doubled down on the wallet and became the biggest fintech in Nigeria by transaction volume. How? They did not just do marketing. They built a system you can copy whether you sell food, clothes, digital services, or you are still looking for work. This is part 2. We cover the next 5 principles. Then we expose 3 mistakes that are killing other companies right now, and we end with lessons you can use this week. Let us continue the Seychelles 100 War. Principle 4. Turn your customers into your salespeople. Pay did not just hire agents. They turned every user into a marketer. How? Referral bonuses. If you brought your friend to OPay and they did their first transaction, both of you got 200, sometimes 500. For a student or apprentice, that is real money. So what happened? People started preaching OPay in church, in school, in the market. Explanation. Word of mouth is the oldest and cheapest form of advertising in Nigeria. But OPay made it measurable. They tracked it, paid for it, and scaled it. If your business is good, people will talk. If you pay them to talk, they will shout. Build a referral system. Even if it is bring to customers, get one free, you are using principle 4. Compared to others, banks relied on trusted since 1894 slogans. Kuda used Twitter influencers. OPay used the guy who sells recharge cards. Influencers impress. Neighbors convince. In Nigeria, trust comes from people we see daily. Principle 5. Solve for the agent, not just the customer. Here is what most people miss. OPay has 2 customers, the end user and the agent. Agents are small businesses. They want to make profit. So OPay gave them high commissions on transfers, bill payments, and cash outs. They gave them POS machines cheap or free. They gave them branding. Umbrella, chair, jacket. That made the agent proud. It turned a hustle into a business. If the agent is happy, they will push OPay over PalmPay, over MoneyPoint, over First Money. Explanation. In distribution-heavy businesses, your channel is your king. If you sell pure water, the distributor decides which brand to recommend. Treat your agents, resellers, or retailers better than your competition does, and they will fight for you. Ask, what will make this person choose me every morning? Compared to others. Many banks launched agent banking but treated agents like staff. Low pay. Slow support. OPay treated agents like partners. That is why when you walk into a market, you see 10 green umbrellas and maybe one blue one. Principle 6. Use data like gossip, not like a textbook. OPay watched everything. Which hours had the most transfers? Which areas had failed transactions? Which agents needed more cash? When they saw that traders cash out every evening, they made sure agents in those markets had enough float. When they saw that airtime recharge spikes on Sunday, they did Shiny Eye Sunday promos. Explanation. Data is not for big companies only. If you sell food, know when people are hungriest. If you are a tailor, know when weddings happen. OPay used simple patterns to make decisions fast. You do not need a dashboard. Start with a notebook. Track what sells, when, and to who. Then do more of what works. Compared to others, traditional banks had data, but moved slow. Approvals took weeks. OPay saw a problem in the morning and pushed to fix by evening. Speed wins in Nigeria because situations change daily. Principle 7. Be everywhere. People feel pain. Failed bank app on payday. OPay ads said, transfer sharp. People charging 200 for 5,000. OPay agents said, we charge 50. OPay did not create new needs. They attacked existing frustration. They showed up at the exact point of pain and offered paracetamol. Explanation. The easiest sale is pain relief. Do not educate the market from scratch if you do not have the budget. Find what people are already complaining about on WhatsApp, at the bus stop, in their DMs, and position your product as the cure. Pain is urgent. Urgency sells. Compared to others, some fintechs sold investment as savings plans to people who could not even send money. OPay solved sending money first. Then, after trust was built, they added savings, loans, and more. Sequence matters. Principle 8. Build trust with speed, then with support. First, OPay won trust because it worked. Transfers did not hang. That was huge in 2019 when bank apps crashed every Friday. Second, when things went wrong, they had Telegram groups, WhatsApp agents, and in-app chat. Not perfect, but better than go to your branch. Explanation. In Nigeria, trust is not built with branding. It is built with reliability. If your product fails twice, the customer is gone forever. Make it work first. Then, when it fails, pick up the phone. Support is marketing. One resolved complaint becomes 10 new customers. Compared to others, a lot of banks had strong brands but weak apps. A lot of new fintechs had strong apps but no human support. OPay tried to do both. And when they failed fast and refunded fast. That matters. 3 mistakes other companies make when copying OPay. Mistake 1. Copying the promo without copying the system. Many companies saw OPay's free transfers and said, we too will do free. And they went broke. Why? OPay's free transfer was funded by other products. Agent fees, loan interest, merchant payments. Free was the hook, not the business. Lesson. Do not copy the price. Copy the profit model. If you do not know how your competitor makes money after the discount, do not touch that discount. Mistake 2. Ignoring the agent economy. Some digital banks said, we do not need agents. Nigeria is going digital. They forgot that cash is still king and that trust is human. Millions of Nigerians still prefer to see someone before sending 100. Lesson. Nigeria is both online and offline. Built for both. If your grandma cannot use it, you have not finished building. Mistake 3. Moving slow in a fast market. Banks took months to approve agent requests. OPay onboarded agents in days. When COVID hit, OPay added no physical contact payments in weeks. The others took quarters. Lesson: speed is a strategy. In Nigeria, the market rewards the first to fix a problem, not the first to plan a meeting about the problem. Lessons learned for entrepreneurs, unemployed, and underemployed. 1. Start where the pain is loudest. Do not invent problems. Listen at the market, in the bus, in your family group chat. What are people cursing about? Solve that. 2. Distribution is destiny. A good product with poor distribution will lose to an average product with great distribution. Find your agents, your resellers, your partners. 3. Free can be a strategy, but it is not a business. Know how you will make money on day 2, not just how you will get attention on day 1. 4. Build for the street, then for the App Store. If a person with a small Nokia phone cannot use your service, you are leaving money on the table. 5. Trust is built in seconds and lost in seconds. Make it work. Then make it work again. OPay did not win because they are Chinese. They won because they understood Nigerians better than Nigerian companies did. That is the real lesson. Your next step. We are not done. In part 3, I will show you how OPay survived regulation, how they are moving into loans and debit cards, and what their next war will be. If you are building something, you need to see it. So subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Every week I break down the exact plays Nigerian companies use to win, so you can use them too. Whether you have capital or you are starting with zero, this knowledge is your advantage. Do not watch from the sidelines. Subscribe, and I will see you in part 3 of the ILS 100 War. The ILS 100 War. How OPay survived government, loans, and the next battle for Nigeria's wallet. Part 3. Regulation, expansion, and the future of the street. Welcome to the final part. In part 1, we saw how OPay invaded Nigeria with agents and free transfers. In part 2, we broke down how they turned customers into marketers, made agents rich, and used speed to build trust. But here is the real test of any Nigerian business. Can you survive government policy? Because in 2020, Lagos State banned Okadas and Keks. Oride died. Ubus died. Investors panicked. Headlines said, OPay is finished. In 2023, the CBN cash crisis happened. No cash anywhere. Bank apps crashed. Post charges went to 1,000 naira for 10,000 naira. Nigeria was angry. Most companies would have closed. OPay grew. How? That is what part 3 is about. We will close the 8 principles, recap the 3 mistakes, give you final lessons, and look at the next war OPay is fighting. If you are an entrepreneur, unemployed, underemployed, or on social security, this part shows you how to survive when the rules change overnight. Let us finish the 100 War. How OPay survived when the government changed the game. When Lagos banned Okadas, OPay had a choice: cry or pivot. They chose pivot. They already had millions of users who trusted them for transport. So they asked, what else do these people need every day? Answer: money movement. They shut down ORide and OFood and put all their money, staff, and attention into OPay Wallet and OPay POS. That was brutal focus. Most companies are too emotional to kill a product they love. OPay was not. Explanation: this is called killing your darling. In Nigeria, policy can destroy your main business overnight. Your survival skill is how fast you move to the next thing. Do not marry your product. Marry the customer. If the customer still exists, find a new way to serve them. Compared to others, many logistics companies died with the Okada ban. Gokada struggled. Max tried deliveries. OPay already had a second leg in fintech, so they ran with it. Multiple legs save you when one leg is cut. Principle recap. The 8 plays that built OPay. We have mentioned all 8 across part 1 and 2. Let us list them clearly in words so you can memorize them. Principle 1. Win the street before you win the screen. Distribution beats advertising. Principle 2. Remove friction, add incentive. Make life cheaper and faster than the old way. Principle 3. Use one product, sell the next. Build an ecosystem, not a single item. Principle 4. Turn your customers into your salespeople. Paid referral is the best billboard. Principle 5. Solve for the agent, not just the customer. Your channel partner is your real boss. Principle 6. Use data like gossip, not like a textbook. Watch patterns daily and act fast. Principle 7. Be everywhere. People feel pain. Sell paracetamol, not vitamins. Principle 8. Build trust with speed, then with support. Work first. Apologize fast. When you fail, if you do just 4 of these well, you will beat 90% of your competition in Nigeria. The next war. Loans, cards, and becoming a bank without saying. After winning transfers and agent banking, OPay moved to the next layer. First, they launched OKash and Money for instant loans. Traders who used to pay daily now had a credit score without knowing it. Pay back on time, get a bigger loan. This is huge because banks ask for collateral. OPay asks for behavior. Second, they rolled out OPay debit cards. Now you can spend your OPay money at ATMs and online like a real bank. That closed the loop. Earn on OPay, save on OPay, spend with OPay. Third, they went after merchants. From supermarkets to small shops, OPay QR and POS is now a payment option. Every time you pay, OPay gets a cut. Explanation. This is the super app play. You start with one habit, sending money. Then you add every other habit around money. The goal is to be the only app someone opens when they think about cash, compared to others. Traditional banks are trying to build apps. OPay is trying to be the operating system for street money. MoneyPoint is strong with agents too, but OPay has more consumers. Kuda has consumers, but fewer agents. PalmPay is close, but OPay had first-mover advantage on trust. The 3 mistakes other companies keep making. We mentioned these in part 2, but let us sharpen them for your own hustle. Mistake 1. Selling the product instead of the result. Banks sell current account. OPay sold send money without stories. If you sell clothes, do not say cotton gown. Say, look rich for less. Sell the result. Mistake 2. Building for a bourgeois, ignoring a ba. Many startups build for people with iPhones and stable internet. Nigeria's real numbers are in towns with bad network and cash markets. If your solution needs constant data, you are building for a small crowd. OPay's USS T-code * 955 works on small phones. That is why grandma can use it. Mistake 3. Fear of regulation. Some founders freeze when government speaks. OPay gets licenses. They talk to CBN. They adjust. You cannot build big in Nigeria without government touching you. Plan for it. Have a lawyer. Have a compliance person. Do not run away. Lessons learned. OPay Playbook Lesson 1. Start with one painkiller. OPay started with cheap transfers. What is your own free transfer? It could be free delivery, free consultation, free sample. Use it to enter the market. Lesson 2. People trust people. If you cannot afford agents, use WhatsApp status resellers, campus ambassadors, church members. Give them a reason to talk about you. Lesson 3. Cash flow beats funding. OPay makes money daily from agent commissions and merchant fees. Do not build only for investor money. Build something that pays you this week. Lesson 4. Policy will punch you. When it happens, do not explain. Adapt. Have Plan B and Plan C. If you sell imported goods, what will you do if dollar jumps? Think ahead. Lesson 5. Own a daily habit. OPay owns send money. What daily or weekly habit can you own? Feeding, transport, airtime. Own a verb. Let me OPay you is now a verb in Nigeria. Make your name a verb. What is next for OPay? And for you, OPay's next battle is trust at scale. Can they handle loans without harassment stories? Can they keep support strong as they add millions more users? Can they fight MoneyPoint, PalmPay, and the big banks who are now copying them? That is their war. Your war is different, but the weapons are the same. Speed, distribution, trust, pain relief. You do not need a Chinese investor. You need to understand your street like OPay understood Nigeria. Final word. The HE100 war is not over. It is just moving to new battlefields. Credit, insurance, savings, business banking. But the rules we covered in part 1, 2, and 3 will still win. If you are unemployed, start as an agent for someone today and learn the game. If you are underemployed, add one of these 8 principles to your side hustle this month. If you are on Social Security, teach these lessons to your children. Money moves to those who understand movement. Your next step. This case study took hours to research and break down so you can use it. If it helped you, do not keep it to yourself. Subscribe to my YouTube channel now. That is where I drop one deep Nigerian business story every week. No theory, only what works on the street. We will cover USC. We will cover GIG. We will cover Dangote. And we will cover that small woman in your market who is making millions quietly. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment 100 war, so I know you finished all 3 parts.